What?
Grand Rising, Grand Rising. This is the Straight Talk Morning Show on the Straight Talk Network. I'm Andre Hill. I'm your host, and we have a full panel here this morning. We have Mama Kelly up in Atlanta. How's the weather, Mama Kelly? It's a little chilly here in Florida.
Yeah, it's chilly here, and today it has been raining, but I think it's just going to just be a cloudy day. But it is cold by our standards. It's cold. It will warm up a little bit, as the day goes on to, I think about 50 degrees. But it keeps going down every night, 21.
Oh my
That's
God.
cold.
Yeah, that's cold. That's cold.
But
That's cold.
but I ain't out there then.
But I know we talking trash. I know the chairman, hey Chairman, Terrence Lake up in Detroit. I know it's cold up there.
Grand Rising, everyone. It is cold. It's below freezing. I'm looking at my thermometer and it says 26 degrees Fahrenheit. That's cold. But I do see icicles and it seemed to be little droplets, so maybe it's rising a little bit,
Yeah.
hopefully. But it's cold.
Mhm.
Oh man, I'm gonna stay in Florida. Hey, Andre Jr., what's going on, man?
A little bit of everything. A little bit of everything. I went out last night to go see the new Avatar Avatar movie. Excuse me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. And I didn't know they were making a part three, and I went and saw it over there in what is that, Hyde Park, and very interesting psychological operations they got going on in that movie. If we got an opportunity, we'll talk about it during the show.
Yeah, I think that movie. I talked about it in a promo about the Wicked movie, the new version of the Wizard of Oz, and that was really confusing. I'm just telling our women, don't send our young daughters because it will totally confuse them to watch that crap. And I know they have, but they're gonna need some therapy. But anyway, we got a full schedule here of topics. Um, we want to get into I did a live. I didn't do a poll, so I don't have to read it. So we're gonna go directly into the topics. But Chairman, what's going on with Three Eye Atlas?
Okay. Well, right now, the CIA is withholding information. They're even trying to classify it, and so you can't search for certain information. It's just so wrong for them. And then China, they're giving us information that's contradicting the CIA. Now the CIA is saying that it's a snowball, that's
Oh,
just going through our solar system. Why are you going to classify a snowball? Now they even got Space Force involved with this here, you know. So it's interesting, but it's a lot of mess going on, and they're withholding information from us. They even got a better view now, even though it's going further from us because it's heading towards Jupiter right now. But what's happening is they're getting to the point where they won't be able to see it unless it stops at Jupiter. Now, that's why all the astronomers, the pros and the amateurs, got their telescopes focused on the Three Eye Atlas, and they're trying to see if it's going to make some type of a alternate move other than the slow movements that it's making, changing its course or trying to realign. But this is what's going on, and like I say, there's just a lot of things they're not telling us. They got, oh yeah, they've got a view of it better now than what it was before because all it was like the coma and all you could just see is a fog like. But they've detected that it has three thrusters on it and they're equally spaced 120 degrees in three positions, which makes a complete circle.
3.
And yeah, and they're like saying that this has got to be intelligently controlled. There's no way that it could be something just natural. It's just too natural, not natural at all for it to do what it's doing. And they've got up to what 17 anomalies that they've detected with this 3i atlas, and these are things that don't follow the order of a normal comet. 17 anomalies, that's really something. So keep us posted on what's going on, but they're doing a lot. Yeah, they're talking a lot about it, but they're not giving the information that we want to know.
Well, you know what? I know this. Whatever the event is all about, and I did see some cave drawings of something similar to that may have been very ancient. So it's done what it was designed to do, because I'm getting downloads. I mean, constant downloads every day. It may have left a satellite here to make sure that we're being bombarded with these downloads, but I, I'm feeling this energy of this transition, of this paradigm shift, and our people are waking up and they are feeling it, and they just need direction from the star seeds to get this thing going. But yeah, I'm feeling it. I mean, it's almost like having a constant radio station going off, of what to do, how to do it, and how to stay on task. So, but Chairman, well, go ahead.
Yeah, Mama Kelly, maybe you know about it. Did you hear about there was what was I getting ready to say? Uh wow. It was something
It's all
important
right,
too.
believe me.
When you got so much and you get so excited, you kind of lose that train of thought, you know.
Hmm.
But there oh yeah, the satellites. There were something like 60 or something satellites that were shut down, they said, and momentarily it just they can't understand what caused it, but it was coming from the direction of the 3i atlas. Did you hear anything about that?
Well, yes, that's another one of the things that I keep up with to see what's developing, and from what I understand, they activated three spots here on Earth, okay? Right
Okay.
after it came from behind the sun. One was in Antarctica, which of course we know that there's a hidden city and
Right.
all kinds of stuff going on down there under that ice. And there's a hole, you
Yes.
know. And so whatever is there, and there's always a whole lot of activity coming from that, like internet activity, or should I say, electrical waves and things coming from
Right.
out constantly. And so something was activated there. And then they activated something over there in the eastern area, China Sea somewhere. And then someplace along the Americas. So that's three spots that have some kind of activation going on. And so they are communicating here with uh, the communicating. And as far as those satellites, I think that what happened with those satellites, and a whole lot of phones and internet went down
Right.
because,
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
and I believe it's because of that activation. I think that whatever that is overrode whatever satanic things they have in mind, because I wish I could say that it's not all satanic, but it looks that way. It looks like Satan is trying to rise up and prevent us from gaining our freedom. Not just us, but everybody on earth, because this is a worldwide thing.
Absolutely. So it's and also the astronauts supposedly, now
That's it.
don't remember the 60s what they put astronauts through to qualify to be an astronaut. So for all of a sudden for an astronaut, there's something wrong with him, and then we got to end that. I don't think so. So I'm mighty suspect. And the download I'm getting it was a camouflage, something that they don't want all of astronauts to see or whatever. But
Well, do you remember? I think it was, what did they call him? Buzz somebody, who
Aldrin.
was one of the astronauts. He went down there to Antarctica,
Antarctica, yes.
and whatever he saw stunned him so much he almost died. They had to airlift him to Australia, for medical attention. I really don't know what happened to him after that, but they said, hey, whatever it is, honey, he freaked out.
yeah,
Okay, what was his name? Buzz.
Aldrin.
Aldrin.
Uh-huh. Oh, Buzz Aldrin. Yeah, he was down there. He freaked out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I like I said, I know in Antarctica there's some serious bases down there.
Yes.
When I attended that disclosure conference that Stephen Greer hosted a few years ago, man, we there was a testimony of a federal contractor that said there's some stuff down there that's way beyond their comprehension. So yeah, it's all, this is revelation, which means to reveal, and we're definitely at that point and where it's
Yes.
all coming together. Hey, brother Mike, up in Chicago, how you doing this morning, man?
I'm doing good, God. How you feeling?
Okay, so what's the report coming out of Chicago today?
Man, if it ain't one thing, it's another. You know that. Uh, and I'm gonna just make this statement on all the AI, the what is it, the Atlas, uh, all this stuff goes back to our people. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the Empress Vertice from the Washita who wrote the book, The Return of the Ancient Ones. Uh, that's why you got all these young people that has this supreme knowledge that's talking all over the TikToks and stuff. I'll be sending the videos out. These young brothers, these young spirits, these old souls are coming back to this earth to inform our people to try to help wake them up. Like
Mm-hmm.
you said, we get these downloads and stuff. Elijah Muhammad was the first one to come forth and say, uh, our people are coming back to this planet, and he called it the mother plane. He
Mm-hmm.
said the mother plane is out there in Earth, out there in orbit. That was in 1934. I've been debating with Ishmael, who is Elijah Muhammad's son, Farrakhan's second in command, and letting him know, brother, your daddy started in 1934, man. Y'all don't want to evolve. Y'all stuck in time. That's what's wrong with our people. We want to stay stuck. You follow me? Y'all supposed to be evolving to help our people understand what's going on. Now, here you got Malachi come here to say, and he told us to look for somebody, and he coming here to say, these are your brothers and sisters that's coming here checking on you.
Right.
We don't understand what's going on. All this AI Atlas and stuff. All these are our people coming here. Don't get caught up in these. They do have aliens, but these are our people also coming here to check on us. Ain't nothing gonna happen to us.
Right.
We think,
Exactly.
and nothing is gonna happen to us. They gonna protect us. They even say it, don't worry about no nuclear war bombs and stuff. They said because whatever they hit, we can deactivate that, no problem. This
Absolutely.
is our time. We are living in the sun cycle, and two gods will not and cannot rule at the same time. They
Right.
God is leaving up out of here. You follow what I'm saying? So we have to just be aware of what's going on, and we're so downtrodden with that inferiority complex that we don't even know. These are our people coming here, just like President Kennedy. President Kennedy had been visited by some black extraterrestrial beings. That's a fact. President Kennedy was so freaked out, he wanted to inform the people, inform us. He said, man, y'all don't know who these people are. It said our people came to visit him from the future and say, do you think we can allow y'all to destroy our people? Because if you destroy them now, there'll be no us. It's a whole lot of stuff taking place. Even Neil Armstrong talked about that when he came back from outer space. when the news cameras was out there, they wasn't ready for what Neil Armstrong said when he opened up the space shuttle. He jumped off of there. He was so freaked out. He said, "Oh my God, we was escorted back in the Earth atmosphere by a ship of black people."
Mm,
He
mm,
said that. They hurry up and snatched him and deprogrammed him, and don't you ever mention that again, ever.
Right.
So all of this stuff is coming forth. They're trying to just keep it away from us, so we won't know what's going on. But these are our people, like Dr. York said it too. He said, "That's right. These are your people coming here, check on y'all." So we just passing information, brother.
That's
That's all
right.
we doing.
All right, so Mama Kelly and I have been back and forth talking about the Pretendians and the deal that they cut with the devil. Hey man, can you bring that video up of these folks getting the attitude? Because we are waking up, we have gotten over the hoax that they were the natives and the original people, and they're trying to come up with all kind of crazy stuff. And the laws, everything in darkness shall soon come to light. I know it's a biblical passage, but it is true. That is the reality. So they cut a deal with the devil, and like Mike said, Lucifer and his crew, they're going down in 5, and that ain't no jive. Go ahead.
Be tried and finally received federal recognition after 137 years, and some of the white Cherokee are not happy.
We spent the afternoon at the Cherokee Indian Reservation approaching citizens, asking their thoughts on the Lumbee decision. Everyone we approached said they disagree with it. Some people even jokingly pretending not to know who the Lumbee are. Now, the consensus is people think that the Lumbee Fairness Act is a little unfair.
I think it's really unfair that they get to piggyback onto a defense bill that has to pass that is completely circumventing the established legal processes that every other sovereign nation has had to endure.
Citizens of the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians reacting to the news that the Lumbee Fairness Act passed in Congress.
I think that the U.S. Congress and everybody has let all the 574 federally recognized tribes down. I think it opens up a lot of doors for these state recognized tribes to go through the back door and have easy access to be federally recognized.
And it's not just members of the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians who disagrees with the decision. Watson Harlan is a member of Cherokee Nation, which is based in Oklahoma.
Anytime there is a substantial upending of tribal laws, it has almost always been used by the federal government and by state governments as a way to attack or disenfranchise other tribal governments.
The reason why I'm saying the white Cherokee are mad, because Rebecca Nagel, who's Cherokee herself, said that the Cherokee Nation has adopted racism from their European ancestors. By 1850, half of all Cherokees were half white. By 1999, 90% of Cherokee were mostly white. On the other hand, thanks to Walter Plecker, he's got many people under the impression till this day that brown and darker complected American Indians are just Africans lying about being American Indian. And of course, many American Indians, like Chief
Because
Yeah, not enough. Mama Kelly, I know you ready to fire them up. Go ahead.
you on mute, Mom. Okay, there we go.
okay, yeah, I had to unmute. Well, okay. Let's look at what happened when the colonizers first landed here on the East Coast. The first thing they did after they slaughtered as many people that they could, and of course they brought diseases with them as well. And what started to happen was that our people were disappearing, and they were taking the women and having children with them. So then that began to lighten up the original indigenous people. But with that first breed of half-breeds, they began to put their male sons in charge of the nations, and they had them sign the treaties. In other words, we never signed any treaties with them at all. So they can talk all that mess they want to, but we never signed a treaty with them. And so this is like the problem with them now. I have direct information and connection with the Lumbee people. And I want to let you know that, well, first of all, let's clean that up. As far as the Cherokees, like the guy said, they're all white people. And the main Cherokee chief, you look at him, he's all white. And that even the one out there in Oklahoma. And he spends most of his time in Europe. Now, he's pretty rich. You know, I think he goes to Ireland. Maybe he did his DNA and found out he was from Ireland. So he said, well, let me go home while I got all this money in my pocket. You know, and so that's that. Okay. As far as Lumbee people are concerned, I tried to connect with some of the southeastern Cherokee nations in North Carolina many years ago when I was researching, and because that's where I'm from, that's where my people are from. And of course, my mother, I found out that she went to the Indian school that was built for the Lumbee in 1909. And so she was 9 years old when she started there. And she completed that, which meant she was, at that time, 8 years was the high school education, you know. So I contacted many of the Southeast North Carolina tribes, and the only one that responded was the Lumbee. I was able to talk to them and talk about the school that my mother went to, and they invited me to come and everything. And one thing about the Lumbee, they are all colors, just like we are. And so the Lumbee are really, they probably have some admixture there as far as the blood quantum is concerned, as far as Europeans are concerned, but not a lot. And they did not shut out the dark skinned people, the tribal people. They did not do that like the Cherokee did, like all of the others, the Muskogee and the Creek and all of those who claimed that the dark-skinned Indians, the so-called freedmen, that they were, oh my, I got one of your moments, my brother. That they were they're slaves. And they were never slaves. They were the real people. But the United States government at that time had just disenfranchised them totally. But the Lumbee, I think they stopped fighting the government in 1956. So, they were fighting. They didn't let go. And it is also very possible, according to some of the research, that the Lumbees may have brought in those lost tribes. No, it's not called a lost tribe. What they call the lost colony. Did you guys ever hear about the lost colony, that first colony that was there at the North Carolina? It was only called, all of it was called Virginia at that time. Right there around the Roanoke River, that's where they came in and settled. And then they left a group here. And when they came back, the group of Europeans were disappeared, but they couldn't find them. Okay.
I've heard
And
about
you guys have heard about that, haven't you?
I've heard about it.
The lost colony. It may be that the Lumbee back then at that time took in those Europeans, and the only clue that the colonizers had when they came back to try to find their people whom they had left here. The only clue was called Croatoan. It was written on a tree, Croatan or Toan or something like that. Croatoan. That was the name of the school that my mother went to. It was called the Croatoan Indian School. Okay, so I have a direct connection to the Lumbee at this time. That's the area that my people were from, and also an open heart to them because they welcomed me when I asked questions. They didn't just ignore me. But there's one thing that I do want to say about the Cherokee chief out there in Oklahoma. They told me they were under contract. In other words, they are contract Indians.
Absolutely.
Okay? They are under contract. All right. So that's what I want to add to it. The fact that the Lumbee are probably some of the most um, honest of those tribes that are still around, you know, or the so-called recognized, they are recognized. And that Cherokee woman, I mean, she ain't Cherokee, okay? She is not Cherokee. She's white. Yeah, well, should I say? I shouldn't say white. She's a colonizer. And her ancestry goes all the way back to Europe. And so they are just pretend Indians, and they are upset at us because we are the real ones. Just take a look at the way that we have contributed to the progress of the world. What have they done on those reservations? Please tell me what they did. Did they do anything? Okay, we're here on this internet because we created it. Okay, laser, all the things that make this a progressive society. It was done by us. Everything. We can't find anything from refrigerator to light bulb to, everything.
Traffic lights.
Well, traffic, yeah, organized. Believe me, traffic lights are important. In Africa, you don't have traffic lights, but they have a way of working with each other even without traffic lights. I guess it's cooperation. Okay, I see you going there, so I'm going to go, nah, I ain't going to mess with you, you know? So, global positioning, everything, even as far as mathematics is concerned, we are the geniuses. I seldom hear anybody talk about the fact that Einstein was trying to solve a particular problem, which he never could. But there is a brother, an Igbo brother in New York, Gabriel Oyibo, who solved that problem that Einstein could never solve. Now, at that,
Einstein was working in the patent office, so he was stealing other people's ideas. You can't steal an idea and then come up with the solution.
That's what they do, is steal, even today. So let me, as y'all say, land that plane because I could talk forever.
Okay. Mike, you look like you had something you wanted to say. You've been working with the tribes for quite some time. Is you still there?
I sent that picture. I sent that picture of me and Empress Redbird of the Cherokee Nation. I didn't know how to put it on here, but I sent it to you and Andre.
Yeah,
And
I'm showing it right now.
yeah, and you see how dark she is?
Mm.
and she lives in North Carolina. Her coronation was in Florida. You follow what I'm saying? But that's the real Cherokees. You understand what I'm saying? So, we don't have to prove nothing to these people. The biggest problem is this. Here's the biggest problem that I see. Jesus said, Our Father who art in heaven, our Father who art in Orion, holy is thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in Orion. Earth is destined to be a sacred planet. That's a destiny. So they cannot get away from that. Our biggest problem is that our people have cried, our people have suffered, our people have begged for help to be sent to us, begged for centuries for help to be sent. And our biggest problem is that help has been sent and we don't even acknowledge it
Don't see it.
because the help that's here look like us.
And
That's our
it is
biggest it's our biggest problem. The church was marching to the beat of the European drum. So when Elijah came, he was trying to tell them, brother, y'all didn't want to acknowledge Elijah because he said he was a Muslim. So what? I'm a Muslim. I'm a Muslim by nature, a peacemaker. That's all Muslim means. You follow what I'm saying? He was trying to tell our brothers, brother, I have a message to you. I have a message for y'all. You got to listen to what I'm saying. Dr. King was the first one to break ranks from the church to go and meet with Malcolm and Martin. I mean, with Malcolm and Elijah to hear what they had to say. And when he got it, he said, oh my God, I'm afraid I'm marching my people into a burning house.
Mhm,
That's when they had to assassinate him because he was about to change ranks. He was about to go in a whole nother direction. And
mhm.
so we have to acknowledge Jesus even said, I will send you Elijah. Guess what? Elijah came and gone. They don't even know Elijah been here. Lord have mercy. Them white Jews are still looking for Elijah. Y'all missed it. You understand what I'm saying? Even if you go to any Jewish store, they sell these cups for Elijah. They have places at their tables for Elijah. I said, okay, well, y'all can talk. But the Elijah that we've been looking for was Elijah Muhammad when you get through talking. That's why when they first had that alien encounter, who was the first one they came looking for? Our people don't even know that. They went looking for Elijah Muhammad. Where did you get this information? He didn't come here to tell them that because he was the first one to publicly talk about the existence of a mother plane out in orbit. They thought he was crazy in 1934. Then they had their encounter in what 40 in the 40s or 50s.
Yeah.
Then they went looking for him. You probably say, "Oh, this man is on to something." He said, "No, this ain't for y'all. This for our people." But the church was telling our people, "Don't listen to them niggas. They Muslim." They missed it. And then he told them that there was coming another man that's going to explain the 76 trillion year history that I told you about. The next man after me is going to explain everything I told you about. Elijah Muhammad talked about the white devil. Here come Dr. York that wrote the book Black Devils. He picked up where Elijah Muhammad left off. Elijah Muhammad told them that the swine was a graftation, a grafted animal from the genes of a cat, a rat, and a dog. Here comes the York that wrote the book, the dog. In it, he put the experiment in it, exactly what they did and how they did it, so the world scientists could do the exact same thing and draw the conclusion that they telling the truth. We don't even know this. This is some real information that Dr. York came to give us. And right now, I'm telling you, y'all want this book? It's a book called The Holy Tablets. Is being sold on Amazon. I just ordered it.
Mhm.
Amazon got this book by Dr. York called The Holy Tablets, $200. I had to get it because I had the original, but I couldn't get it back because my friend I loaned it to, he died. His family wouldn't give it back. I offered them $500 for my book back. They wouldn't give it. So I was on Amazon looking for some stuff, and boom, Dr. York's Holy Tablets popped up. Everybody better get it because right now, if you look up Holy Tablets, these brothers selling the original copies for like $1,500, $1,900. So you cannot even get these books no more. So I'm telling you, This is, again, our people have been crying and begging for help, and they have sent help, but we won't even acknowledge it because they look like us. If they was white, oh my God, niggas be tripping all over themselves over this. That's why I said I couldn't wait. Let them ships show up. I'd be like, oh yes, please come get them. That would be me. While everybody out in the street running, going crazy because they don't know nothing about what's going on, I'll be the one in the street. Yes, thank you. Come do something with their asses. Lord have mercy. All right, but anyway.
All right, Mike. So, hey, Chairman, you got any comments on that before we go to this government ain't legit?
No comments right now. It's just the internet is a wonderful thing because without it, we wouldn't be here together talking and exchanging knowledge, and let the internet continue to grow and spread to give us and feed us that knowledge. But I do have one thing to say. Back in 1977, right after I had written and published my book, I was approached by an elderly Black guy, a very dapper looking guy, spoke very good English. And he was talking to me about, that he came here to, communicate with people, but he's gonna go and they are going to come back, that he won't be coming back. And he told me, well, you might be here, but you might not be. But when he told me that I might not be, it kind of made me think, and I sort of forgot about it until 3i Atlas came about. And then it just brought everything back to me. He was an extraterrestrial because I didn't know him from Adam. And he approached me. He came to me and told me some things I can't even remember, but I know the feeling that I had from talking with him was like, wow. And now all this stuff is coming about. It's just beautiful. That's why I feel so strong about 3i Atlas, that I know the ships are out there. They've come. They're here, and more are to come. But we just have to be patient. I'll land that plane.
All right, the plane is landing. Hey, Julian, if you can load up the Caucasian woman talking about how the United States government is really legit, and then if you can go into a light dissertation on how our government is going to work after that particular video, I appreciate it.
Any of the administration, because they are not a government. They are the United States Corporation. The U.S. government incorporated as a for-profit commercial enterprise in the Legislative Act of February 21st, 1871, 41st Congress, Session 3, Chapter 62, page 419, and chartered a federal company entitled United States, i.e. United States, aka U.S. Incorporated, a commercial agency originally designated as Washington, D.C., in accordance with the so-called 14th Amendment, which the records indicate was never ratified. The United States government is a foreign corporation with respect to the state. 19 Corpus Juris Secundum 541, location of United States. The United States is located in the District of Columbia. Secretary of the Treasury of Puerto Rico was appointed receiver over the bankrupt United States in the Reorganization Plan number 26 in 1950. Title 5, United States Code, Section 903, Public Law 94-564. The Secretary of the Treasury of Puerto Rico, Title 27, Code of Federal Regulations, Section 251.11, the title, Secretary of the Treasury, is a euphemistic abbreviation of the actual title, Secretary of the Treasury of Puerto Rico. The Internal Revenue Service was incorporated in Delaware, is not a part of the supposed U.S. government, which is but a de facto for-profit corporation masquerading as a government. It operates out of Puerto Rico. This is the IRS. It's not registered to do business in any state, is the bookkeeping and debt collection arm of the Secretary of the Treasury of Puerto Rico. They collect for the International Monetary Fund. Everybody who gets up into the administration, the Congress, the legislation, all the way down to the local level are corporations, private companies. We are their chattel. We are their inventory. They make money off of us, and you don't even know how deep it goes. And I apologize for my passion about this. But when I found this out, it was the only time that I felt hatred for the evil slime who did this to us.
You up?
All of the reactions right now is notable. And this is why I love y'all as my elders. I wouldn't come back to this planet through no other culture. I promise I wouldn't. So, listen, I mean, I get it. As distraught as she is, and anybody of her persuasion would be hearing that information, something that we all on this panel, we know that, but we knew that information already. Some people from my generation of our culture and our likeness know that information already. But what she's reacting to is the revelation, the truth of the lie of a whole psychological operation that's been going on for about 200 years now. It hasn't, and now mind you, it hasn't been going on that long. That's the interesting thing about it. It's only been in really strong for about 200 years here in this country and on these lands. But what she was going over, and not to get too deep because that's a whole show all on its own, getting into the de facto-ness of this actual government and what it really boils down to. I mean, I explain this to everybody I do a nationality orientation with to some extent. Everybody who's nationalized with our tribal government, we get into that subject. That government, the United States American Republic, which is the only real government, because they have a corporate and commercial version of it. That's what she's talking about. That literally makes the money. When I say make the money, I don't mean earn it. I mean they literally print it based off that system that she's talking about. Meaning everybody who's a citizen of the United States is the product that backs the USD. They don't have any gold, they don't have any silver, they have no precious metal for whatever that's worth. But originally it was supposed to be a precious metal with some intrinsic value that backed the USD. That's been gone since 1933. So who's backing the money now? We are. Every day we get up and engage in this commercial system, it retains its value. My point is, the only reason the only reason the money has any value, the only reason their government, the United States American Republic, like their only actual concept of a government is still intact, is because all y'all still believe in it. That's it. Because it's supposed to be we the people, all the government. But they just got you thinking or got you acting like it's kings and queens and y'all are voting and or electing somebody to rule over you. But they haven't had a true concise government. In other words, there's no integrity to the consistency of their legislation. They bend the rules, break the rules whenever they see fit, as often as possible. And so, without getting into all of the statutes, the treaties, the acts, and all of the ongoing regulations that all the federal enclaves keep manipulating. Without getting into all of that, this is the simple concept of it. their government is only still intact is because every day people of the United States get up and act like it's real. That's it. Right. And so now I know, you know, how psychological operations work. If you've got a psyops that's been intact for generations, that means it's embedded not only into the psychology of every human being, almost into the genetic memory of every human being. And it's very difficult to snap out of that. It's difficult to learn that it's all a lie. And we understand how that literally breaks the mind, that you've been believing this thing you thought is reality and truth all of this time, and it gets snatched away from you, and now you're left with a blank program in your psyche, and you don't know how to operate after that. So with that being said, we attempt to be, this is why we on this show we give out, so much detail and information that can reprogram you or give or reprogram you back into harmony with nature, so the jolt of learning the truth is not so harsh. Because the jolt of learning the truth, imagine how we on the panel felt when we found out this information, and we had to go find a new program all on our own. And that's why we laughed at that video. We all laughed at it when we saw the reaction from that lady. It does seem like there's, like the light and the end of the tunnel gets smaller when you hear something like that. But this is why we are re-establishing all of our own Aboriginal governments. Because for one, we're the ones that taught them how to come up with government in the first place. We know how to run government. We've been running governments since time immemorial. We've been we've been knowing how to make civilization since time immemorial. We have no problem with doing that. We're very good at it. As a matter of fact, if you snap out of that system, you just go within and search within self. You remember how to run a civilization? It's encoded into your DNA. You remember how I go? Listen, a lot of people ask me, I mean, where did the downloads come from for you to start up a tribal government? I mean, I said, well, just the cliche stuff we say about our own culture, the ancestors and my own genetic memory. That's what happened. The Most High just let me know what time it was. I went outside and put my feet in the grass and smelled some fresh air, and it just downloaded onto me. Literally, that's pretty much what happened. Literally, right? And so my point is, you don't have to have any fear about that system shutting down and you transitioning into a harmonious, natural government that operates by real universal law, natural law, and then whatever. And when you're really operating on true universal law, Dad talks about this all the time. Universal principles: doing to others, you have them doing to yourself. Everybody has a inner compass of morality. You all know what's right and wrong. You just choose to do something different, right? You all got that inner compass. That's where the universal law comes in. Natural law, that's us communicating among each other and saying, you got the right to live just so long as you ain't impeding on my right to live while I'm operating in universal law. That's basic concept of natural law. Under that, you got contract law. That's when we get into the details of how we're going to interact with each other. But if you don't have universal law, natural law down pat, you can imagine contract law can get crazy. In other words, y'all be agreeing and making all kinds of intentions to deal with one another with no moral foundation. So it's really simple. I believe our people have all of the capacity, the memory, the ability, the skill set to reestablish true civilization and run it so that the next generations have a good place to incarnate into. It's really that simple. That's what I don't even have children yet, and we built this nation for the children. And I don't even have yet. That's what it's all about. That's just the instinct that I have that is just there because like, again, I'm just honored to be in the presence of elders because all of these people passed that down to me. That's pretty much what happened, and I'm gonna pass it on to the next generation. All right.
I add something to that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm landing that plane.
Yeah,
Go
hold
ahead.
on. We got Mama Kelly's hands up first. Hold on, Mike.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Mama Kelly. You wanted to put a little seasoning on that?
Yes, all that he said is absolutely 100% correct. What I wanted to add, and we must, all of our people who are still stuck in the church, I want to warn you that Benjamin Netanyahu and the Likud party of Israel have said that they are bringing 10,000 preachers over to Israel to indoctrinate them into or to re-indoctrinate them into this satanic Christianity. You see, because it is those satanic that Christ that they gave to our people is not our Christ, but that is what they gave to us. And that is what the preachers in the church, in every community, on every street, wherever we are, those preachers are teaching that satanic Christianity. There are a few of them who are waking up, but not many. But they are going to re-indoctrinate them into that belief system. That's the psyop that they want to do. They're doing it because they already brought 1,000. I don't know what the schedule is to bring the 10,000, but all them niggas gonna go. You know they gonna go over there to Israel so they can talk about going to the quote Holy Land, which there are doubts as to whether the Holy Land is there or here. Okay. And so I want all of us to know, and all in the who are in, not just us, but all who are in the audience or who will see this, that your preacher might be going to Israel so that he can come back and keep you under the spell of Satan. Okay. And I think that what we need to do is to make sure that we can reach those people who are still indoctrinated and let them know that that psyop is on them. And the Israeli Likud, which is the party, they said the most dangerous people in America are Black youth, Black boys. They are totally afraid of Black boys in America. Okay. And of course, men too. Soon as they get to be men, they have that option of getting rid of them. So I land that plane now. Okay, thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Yeah. So we what we just said cannot be reversed. It's out there now. And so what you our people, you must understand, these entities have lived off of this white supremacy, this illusion for 400 years. And they know now, just like the Wizard of Oz, that's why I brought that movie up. The Wizard, I've been exposed, I got to get out of Dodge. And on his way out, they're going to try to disrupt this whole system. But we can easily move into, we are intelligent. We can move into our own government. We just got to get out of the mind of capitalism and I'm going to get mine, you better get yours. If you stay in that mind frame, you will die along with your slave master. You will die. So I encourage you to get involved with us. Go to uarnation.org and find out about your status adjustment, about your nationality. You can still keep your American nationality, because they got they got an account payable to us, and you can, as long as we hold on to it and make that transfer, but you got to make that adjustment. Hey, Mike, you got 30 seconds before we get into that next topic. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say the sister right. That's what we tell the young guys, man, y'all don't understand. Y'all the most feared people in the world because you are our army, but you don't know that you're our
Mm.
army. That's the only problem. And then this here, they have just made us, like, for instance, I drive around with a traveler's tags with no insurance. I'm going to court for this right now. And when I went into court the other day, the judge was telling me I put in a motion to dismiss my case because I have a right to travel. And Supreme Court has already ruled that they cannot, you can travel without registration or forced insurance. So when I went to court, they argued it. They say, you want to have a bench trial? No, I want a jury trial because y'all breaking the law. So she said, Mr. Glover, you don't think the law applies to you? I said, the law do apply to me. I said, but you all are going against a Supreme Court decision. You don't have a right to do that. And I'm not paying for no insurance. And I'm not paying for no registration on my car. That's it. So I go back to court on the 3rd of February to bring it to a jury trial. That's their biggest problem. Because when I finish with that jury to make them understand that what I'm talking about applies to everybody, they have just got us assuming that everything is legal. What they're doing is not legal. We don't have to pay for no insurance. We don't have to pay for no tax. That's a fact. It's already been ruled by the Supreme Court. We the ones that have to stand up to these demons. That's why I ain't paid no taxes since 1983 with no problem. But same thing going to happen here. When I go back and get finished with this and they give me a dismissal, now I can carry that in my car. Every police that pull me over, I can show it to them, say, I already went through this, bro. You follow what I'm saying? Okay, sir, have a nice day. I'm doing this for our children. I told my grandchildren in Atlanta, y'all wait till I get through with this. I'm going to pass this on to y'all. Y'all just have to step up and have the nerve to say it. That's all you got to do. You don't have to go through a lot of things. Like with the police, when they pull me over, sir, where do you stand? I'm standing on a Supreme Court decision. Say I don't have to do it. And if the Supreme Court say I don't have to do it, these ordinances stuff cannot overstep the Supreme Court. They gave me a ticket. Well, look, you go argue with that with the court. No problem. And that's what I'm doing now. We have to do this for our children. That's all.
It's mandatory. Hey, so hey, Mike, we putting our security team together, so I got to get with you after, if not today, to this week coming up. Also, hey man, if you can load up, and we're helping you see the confirmation. You can load up that tape about Gaddafi's daughter, because she, Obama pulled a hit on her dad, and she's warning Iran, don't get in bed with, you're going with these dogs, you're gonna get fleas. And so we just trying to confirm for our people why you cannot trust the system. It's shutting down. They're getting ready to get in their balloons and get out of Dodge. Go ahead and hit it, man.
This is pretty shocking. A letter is circulating on social media of Muammar Gaddafi's daughter, Aisha Gaddafi, sending a letter of warning to Iran based on her father's experience. This letter was originally circulating all over social media. It started off on an African news account. It's been circulating, and I've been seeing a lot of Western and much larger accounts pick it up. I'm going to say it's alleged letter right now until I see more outlets confirm it, but I'm going to go ahead and read it in anyway because I find it pretty shocking, and there's a lot it touches on a lot that I wanted to go over with you guys. So here's the letter. To the resilient and freedom-loving people of Iran, I speak to you with a heart weighted down by destruction, betrayal, and grief. I'm the voice of a woman who watched her country crumble not at the hands of open enemies, but through the trap of Western smiles and false promises. I warn you, do not fall for the seductive words and slogans of Western imperialists. They once told my father, Muammar Gaddafi, abandon your nuclear and missile programs and the world will open its doors to you.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet, it's this dope tech from Wix.
Out of goodwill and a belief in dialogue, my father made concessions. But in the end, we saw how NATO bombs dropped to our land to ashes, Libya drowned in blood, and our people were left to exile, poverty, and ruins. To my Iranian brothers and sisters, your courage, dignity, and perseverance in the face of sanctions and economic war are a testament to your nation's honor and true independence. Concessions to an enemy bring only destruction, division, and suffering. Negotiating with the wolf will not save the lamb or bring peace It only sets the time. Sets the time for the next meal. Aisha Gaddafi, and here's a photo of her now as well.
Okay, so this is how the whole world is starting to view what's happening here in the United States of corporate America. The United States of corporate America was built on a racism system. And so no system like that is going to last. It's going to implode. It has a time stamp on it. So we bring you this reality to wake up and start making a move on making the necessary adjustments. Libya's program was free school, free everything, to help develop their people. And so the capitalistic, demonic mindset of the United States of corporate America was, well, we can't enslave you if you're getting free air, free water, and free education and all that. How are we going to enslave you to submit to our will? And that's what it all boils down to. So, hey, we're at that hour. This has been a power pack show. We got more stuff. Mama Kelly, she got stuff for a whole century for you, and we're gonna continue waking you up every Saturday. Hey, Junior, you got the last word, man. How do they get in touch with us? How do they get their status adjustment or their nationality?
Yeah, like you said earlier, go to www.uarnation.org and go to the nationality page and book you an appointment. What's going to happen is there's instructions there. You're going to go through a tribal screening just so we can validate and verify your Aboriginal lineage, not for us, for you. That's who it's really for, so that no one can tell you or no one can argue with you, and you ain't got to debate with yourself on whether or not you have Aboriginal lineage or not, right? It's more so for your own confidence in knowing who you are. Then you'll have a orientation with me, and we'll go over the generalities of the nationality packet, and you be in there like swimwear, like my brother Young Son say. You'll be welcome to the cookout, and then I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be our pleasure and honor to walk this journey with you into ascension and freedom.
Wait a minute. Well, let me say one thing. If you don't want to do it for yourself, at least do it for your children. And this is the reason I'm doing it. My son, I want him to survive. If you don't want to do it for yourself and you're tired, and do it for your children because they ain't gonna be able to make it. Go ahead, man. Shut us down.
All right, it's been a wonderful show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But as always, family, peace and love. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace out.